Okay, for number 1, you're supposed to find the dy over dx of the following, which means absolutely we're going to do derivation there. And you have a bigger exponent, so expansion is not recommended here, but you're supposed to use chain rule. And as we discussed in class, when you are deriving, you're supposed to do first outer to inside. So what I'm going to do is to multiply that 8, just a simple power rule over all of the function, which is 8. Then copy the function there. And then you do minus 1 because you're doing the power rule as is. But you're not yet done. You're supposed to chain rule that inside, which is 2x plus 3, and that will be dua or 2. And then we're just going to multiply that one, and the answer will be 16 2x plus 3 raised to 7. And you don't need to expand it anymore. That's it. Let's go to the next one, which is basically the same thing. Multiply power rule. We're going to have 6. 5x minus 1 copy. Then you do minus 1 from that exponent. It's 5. Multiply to the inside derivatives, which is 5. So the total will be 30. 5x minus 1 raised to 5. And once again, that's it. Cakes. And let's go with the next one. This is also a chain rule. We're in, as you know, the rules in E, we're just going to recopy the function itself, and we're going to multiply this to the derivatives of the exponent, which is sine x. And we know that the derivatives of sine x is we have a positive cos x, which you can just put it there. Clear? Okay. Hopefully it's clear. Now let's go with next one. This is not a product rule between E sec and ln2x. It is just deriving separately, which you're just going to do the same thing what you did here, right? And then you just do adding plus there. And what is the answer there? So basically, once again, you're just going to copy E sec x, and then you know that the second x derivatives will be secant x tan x. Make sure to use whatever is the variables that is being asked. And then that's it for your E secant x. Now let's go with the ln2x. You know last time that ln x derivatives will be equal to 1 over x. And if you have 2x, it's just 1 over 2x, and you multiply it to the derivatives of 2x, which is 2, and then you cancel. That's why, regardless of the number beside your x, it will always be forever 1 over x here. So that is plus there. And yeah, this is already okay. You don't need to really put parentheses there because the first part is just multiplying to each other. So it's not really a concern part. Okay, let me just erase this one and let's go with this one. Y is equal to 4x squared. This is also an exponential function, but you can see that you don't have any e there. But basically, it's just the same thing. Rule is with the what do you call this one? If you want to get the derivatives of 4x squared, it's just basically copy. Then after that, you're going to do the ln a multiply to the derivatives of your exponential. Okay, for you to get it, let me write here dy over dx. Once again, you just need to copy x squared. And if you remember the rule, we're just going to do ln of your a, which is that a is that ln4, right? But you're not yet done because you're supposed to derive that exponent, which is 2x. Let me just put it in front there. And basically, you can make it as is. You can put parentheses there. Okay, or just to make it a little bit more organized, let's make it you have option to also 2x ln 4 and then multiply by your other references. They are just using that's there and that's okay, or you can just go with 4x raised to 2. Regardless, it is going to be acceptable. Okay, so let me just double check. We have 2x ln 4 multiply 4x squared, simple. Common mistake of students, they thought that they're just going to copy whatever is the coefficient here, but no. You're supposed to derive your exponent and multiply it to that ln, whatever is the base you have there. Okay, and let's go to the next one, which is 5 3x. Let's just do the same thing for more practice. Try to stop this and do it on your own. So we're going to do 5 3x, and then the derivatives of that will just be tiga. So, or 3 ln 4. If you want to make it more organized once again, we can, okay, my mistake, it is 5. The base is 5. 5. So, it will be 3 ln 5 multiplied by 5 3x. And that's it. Correct. Okay, let's go with this one. We have a natural logarithms here, but it's not as simple as 1 over whatever is there because you have 3x plus 1. But basically, that's the first thing that you will do. Chain rule. Ln x, as I told you, is 1 over x. So you're just going to do the same thing, which is 1 dy over dx. Please don't ever forget that. So you can have the attitude to always do it properly. Ln, sorry, I mean 3x plus 1. Okay, but you're not yet done because you can derive that inside function, which is tiga or 3, because 3x plus 1 will just be 3. So we're just going to multiply it by 3 and make sure that it's multiplied into your numerator. And the answer will be 3 over 3x plus 1. And that's it, guys. You cannot cancel anymore any other terms there. That's it. Okay, let's move on to this one. I need a space here because as you can see, we have two function. How did I know that I have two function? Because you have the exponential and you have trigo there. Therefore, they are multiplying to each other. And you're going to use product rule, right? Like that. Let us make... Okay, let me just make it organized. Okay, let's do it here on the other side. And yeah. So what we're going to do is, again, this is a product rule. There's no operation at the middle, so you're supposed to make it multiplication. So my u is equal to e negative 3x. My u prime is, as you learn, just copy and then multiply it to the exponent derivatives, which is negative 3. And let me just put it there. Now, how about my v is sine x? Very simple. Your v prime is simple as cos x. What you're going to do is to multiply. My suggestion is for you to always do VU prime. So, if you will have quotient rule, you're not going to be confused. You always stick with VU prime. So, it will become, let me just put dy over dx here. It will become negative 3e negative 3x sine x plus the answer from this one, which is e negative 3x cos x. You always put the exponential first before the trigo, ha? And then try to simplify whatever you can simplify there in a sense of factoring. But if you're going to ask if this is already enough, this is already okay. But better to also practice factoring because sometimes it's way easier to factorize, and then after that you're going to solve for the whatever value you need to get. The common there is we have e negative 3x. This is or. You can answer whatever you like there. And then make a big brackets. Just make sure that it's a overall brackets of the two terms there. Which is the remaining here on this side is you have negative 3 sine x plus cos x. Maybe other books, they will have cos x minus 3 sine x because they want to put that negative at the middle and make it positive in front, and that's okay. And therefore, that's the answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's move on for this one. Application. Find the gradient of the curve. Given this one, you have two terms. And for you to get the gradient is just derive it properly and put that pi over 4 and make sure that you are in radian. Okay. So what are we going to do is we're going to derive it as we mentioned. So dy over dx. There's no product rule here, so you can just go straight to the point here. And if you have a constant here in front, like just a number, and it's multiplying to that function, you can just simply multiply it at the end. Okay, or you can just factor it out there. Only on that terms, yeah, sine. And then just focus in sine 3x. What is the derivatives of sine 3x? The derivatives of sine 3x is, let me write here, derivatives of that is cos 3x. But you're not yet done because you're going to derive that inside 3x, which is multiplied by 3. Just to make it organized, you need to put it here in front, and you will have cos 3x. Yeah, I know you can already multiply it. We're just going to do it step by step. Now, how about this one? What is the derivatives of that? You're just going to write negative sine 2x. And once again, you are not yet done because you're supposed to multiply it to the derivatives of your 2x, which is 2. And we're going to make it negative 2 sine 2x. And dy over dx, let's make it proper by making it, the answer here will be 6, right? Okay, then can I just, actually, you don't need to factor it out. I mean, you have option, this use calculator there. So let's just make 6 cos 3x here minus 2 sine, 6 cos 3x minus 2 sine 2x. And that's it. This is your gradient function. If you want to get the gradient itself, then just put this thing inside your x's there. Okay? And just make sure that you're going to have radian. This is in radian, so please make sure that you must be in radian form. Okay. So, hopefully, everyone knows how to put that in calculator. Put this in calculator, but instead of x, of course, you will make it pi. 6 cos 3 pi over 4. Parenthesis, please be careful. Minus 2 sine 2 pi over 4. Clear? And when you put it in calculator, you will get a surge there, and that's okay. It will be negative 3 root 2 minus 2. Take note of that one. Okay, now let's go with the second or the third one. Second example of like this, which is basically the same thing. Okay, and let's move on. So, dy over dx, 3 tan. Once again, I suggest for you to put the tan and just the 3 and then just focus in tan 2x. Let's factor out tan 2x? What is tan 2x? Tan 2x is sec, right, square, and then you just copy 2x. But you're not yet done because you're supposed to multiply it to the 2. That's why it will become 3 multiplied by 2. I'm just recopying. Sec 2 raised to 2 multiplied by 2x. Okay. Minus sec, which is, what is the derivative of sec? I will put it directly there because you know that it's just sec x tan x. And just simplify it. If you want to factor out to make it easier to put in calculator. Or you can just focus in 6 sec squared 2x minus sec x tan x. And then just once again put everything as pi over 4 in your x. Okay, put your x as pi over 4. And once again, it's still radian. But the problem goes in your second pi over 2. It's not actually possible. Sec squared 2x here, because you're going to have pi over 4 or pi over 2 there. That is not possible because this one, let me just write a note here. Sec squared 2x is undefined. It's not possible. Even you put that in calculator, it will be undefined. Meaning to say that the gradient doesn't exist at your x, which is pi over 4. Does not exist. And that's okay. There will be some tricky questions like that you may encounter. So please, Berwa, don't overthink. You can just put that. That's undefined and does not exist on that specific x. Let me erase and let's move on. Okay, how about this one? Application, which is a company's machine efficiency E% after 3 months is given by this exponential function. And then, of course, for you to know, for you to get that E%, I mean, for you to know the change in your E, in terms or with respect to your t, you're supposed to derive, which is, let me use, please always use whatever is the variable given there, which going to be dE over dt. And if you still remember, again, the 90, if it's just multiplying to your function, you can just put it right away and just multiply it to the derivatives of that one. Okay, and if you remember, 0.95 is actually the same thing that we encountered earlier, like you have 4x squared there. Okay, so we're going to copy 0.95t, and then we're going to multiply it to the derivatives of your t, which is just SATU, but don't forget that it will also be multiplied by your ln of your a, which is 0.95. And therefore, that's the gradient function, which is 90 times 0.95 t ln 0.95. Just put your 6, very easy, to your t, which is here, and just put it in calculator. Therefore, your value of your dE by dt when t is equal to 6, we are using this symbol if you want to show the evaluation of your t to your function, and the answer will be negative 3.39. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is basically super the same of what we did here. So just to make it quick, but what will be your symbol here? So it will be dv over dt. The same thing, 28 will be multiplied to the derivatives of this one, which is you copy 88t, and then derivatives of your t is just sa 2 here, but you don't need to put. You can just go directly in putting your ln 0.88. Okay, let's double check 28 0.88, and then this 4 you're just going to put it here. And how do you present that? dv dt when your t is equal to 4 will be equivalent to negative 2.15. Let me erase that and let's move on. Okay, this is a good question because it's a combination of some basic foundation that you're supposed to know to survive derivatives. The curve is given by this function, and you're supposed to get show that dx can be written in the form. I like this kind of question because me before, if I'm going to answer this question, I know if I'm going in the correct track. Because if I end on this format, of course, I'm very sure that I can get the answers correct. And therefore, let's try to answer this one. Let me just use this space. Okay. This is two different function. There's no operation. I mean, there's an operation, but you cannot see it. And you must know that this is multiplying to each other. Therefore, it's a product rule. And then, let's make the UV and the V prime. UV, U prime, and then your V, B prime. Okay, my U is E, negative 3x, and my E, we have negative 3E, negative 3x. We're just going to copy and then derive the exponent. Yours V is sec x. Your derivatives of your sec is, we have sec x positive, sec x tan x, right? Okay, then once again, please make sure to always do VU prime to make it easier. So my dy over dx is equal to sec, okay, I said earlier that it's better for you to put the constants, I mean the one with the e or a numbers, of course, in front, or just a variable, then just put the trigo at the bottom. At the end, negative t e negative 3x sec x plus e negative 3x sec x tan x. Now, we are targeting a different format, which is very easy at this point, because meaning to say, I just need to factor out my e negative 3x. It's obviously there in both of the terms, sec x. What will be the remaining of the first term? You have only negative 3. Yeah, negative 3 there. And then, what's the remaining there? We only have tan x. And you don't need to really fix that. That's it. You know that this one is the same of this one. So, we are good at that part. So, you can just say that shown. That's already okay. For the find the values of a and b, very easy. Which is you're just going to put the a is equal to negative 3, obviously, and your b is just a 2 because, or 1, because you cannot see any exponent beside your tan x, or sorry, coefficient beside your tan x, so it's just 1, and that's it. Okay. Okay, let's go with number 7, but I think I need space here. Okay, let's do this one. Find the stationary points of the curve C with the equation. This is just an algebra. I mean, just an expressions or x variables without any sign or e or ln there. So it will be easy for you. And as you can see, you have only two terms or two binomials that you're supposed to multiply to each other. So what we're going to do is our favorite u and b prime. U is x minus 1 squared. My u prime is, you're going to do chain rule, do 2 here, x minus 1. There's a remaining here 1 because u minus, right? But you don't need to put. Now, derive x minus 1, which is 1, multiply that. But once again, it's just the same thing of not putting it there. And that's it. How about my v? 5x minus 2. My b prime will be 5. And then, please always do this one first so that it will not be confusing for your quotient if you're going to do it. And then, dy over dx, please be organized in your workings, please. Dy over dx will be bu prime. So, I will do 2x minus 1 multiply 5x minus 2. Next will be plus 5x minus 1, 2. And you're just going to, there's many ways to do this one. Actually, this is already your gradient functions, right? That's already your gradient function. And you can just equate it to 0. Why are we equating to 0? Because we know that stationary points means the gradient is 0, always and forever. So please take note of that. There are many ways to do this. You can expand this, everything expand, especially that you only have 2 there. You can expand, and then you will get at the end a very simple quadratic, and you need to factor out. But for the sake of the standard way to answer this one is better for you to factor out whatever you can factor, not the expansion. Okay, so I'm going to do the factoring out. At this point, I will not put the dy over dx already because already that's my gradient function, and I'm targeting now of getting my stationary points or my x. So, there is x minus 1 in both of my terms. So, I will put x minus 1 there. The remaining here is 2, then 5x minus 2. The remaining here is 5, and the other x minus 1. That's why this one just had to just 1 only now. Because you already put it outside. That's factoring, guys. And that will be equal to 0. At this point, you will see that you already have 2 factors, right? This is your one factor and the other one is this one. But let's make it clear. X minus 1, and then can I just do rainbow method here? Rainbow method, rainbow method, rainbow method. And I will not show it, but I'm going to go directly on the binomial in this part. 2 times 5, 10x, and I still have any 10x. This one is 5x, so I will have a total of 15x there. This is negative 4. And this is negative 5. So, a total of negative 9. And that is equal to 0. In factoring, for you to get the solutions, or like the value of x that will make it 0, this one will just be equal to 0. X minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 1. This one is 15x minus 9 is equal to 0. 15x is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 15. You will have 9 over 15, but you're supposed to do simplest form, which is 3 over 5. This is not yet the answer, but this is your x. So you have 1 and you have 3 over 5. You just need to get your partner, your y's. But which equation are you going to choose? You're going to choose this equation, which is, I'm going to put it here, I'm just going to label. Make sure to be organized in your notes, guys. Substitution. So, y is equal to, I'm starting here in SATU first or in 1. 1 minus 1 squared. 5 times 1 is 5. I will not put it there anymore. I know that you are getting this. And this one will be equivalent to, okay, think I forgot to put that in. Okay, anyway. So, let's get the answer here. Still don't. So, we have, well, automatic, this one is 0, right? because this one will be 0. So 1 and 0 are the partners. And then how about trying your 1 minus 3 over, sorry, the other way around. 3 over 5 minus 1 squared. Then we have 5 multiplied by 3 over 5 minus 2 is equal to, yeah, we're supposed to calculate this one. So how about I'll just use my calculator for easy. Let's put it in calculator to make it easy and fast. You can skip this part. But yeah, help me since we have 3 over 5. Maybe others would like to also practice because some of you are still not confident. I mean, very confused in what parentheses are you going to put there. So this one is 5 times 3 over 5. Actually, you can just cancel the 5 there, yeah. But for the sake of showing it to you, what's the best, how do you put it properly? So yeah, let's make it 3 over 5 and then yeah, minus 2. Actually, without the parentheses, okay, because it will follow the multiplication first, right? And the answer will be 4 over 25. Yeah, this one is, it looks like familiar. So, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry about that. Okay, there you go. Okay. Again, we have 4 over 25. And you're just going to put it there. 4 over 25. And that's it. Kicks, that's your answer. Stationary points. Because you will notice that this is a cubic, which is a positive cubic, like this. And you will have two coordinates. That's why you got two coordinates there. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Let me erase. Let me just make a space as well there. Okay, let's go with this one. You have a curve, an equation given with an exponential there and divided by your x minus 1 squared. So yeah, this is very obvious that you're going to use your quotient rule. And I'm going to use this space, okay? The quotient rule is the same thing. You're going to set your u, which is my u is e3x. My u prime will be derivatives of your exponent, which is 3, and you just copy. V is equal to x minus 1 squared, and you're going to do chain rule there because there's an exponent there. 2, and just copy, minus 1 to the exponents, which is 1. Don't forget to derive the inside, but it's just 1 as well. That's why we stop adding something there. So that's it. Okay, and once again, for quotient, you do bu prime first. dy over dx is equal to 3e3x x minus 1 squared minus, this is minus because this is quotient, minus e3x. You can put 2 times e, so just put the number in front, then x minus 1. Divided by b squared. If you squared x minus 1 squared and squared it again, it's just going to be multiplying of this one. So that's why it will just be x minus 1 raised to 4. X minus 1 raised to 4. And since we have a format to follow here, it's very necessary for you to, we're going to factor it. Okay, factor. And the easiest to do on that is, yes, we have E3x there, automatic. We put the E3x there outside. The 3 and 2, there's no common factor, let it be inside. So you have E3x outside. And you also have x minus 1 here and here. But the highest possible I can only put will be x minus 1 only. Okay? And then let me just make a big bracket. What's the remaining here? The 3 and the SAT2 or the 1x minus 1 there. 3x minus 1 there. Okay, how about this one? What's the remaining on this part? The minus 2, the E3x, no need. The x minus 1 is just 1 there, which is already out, and that's only what you need to put. Still divide x minus 1 4. Now, we can cancel x minus 1 and x minus 1. But, you know there's a 1 here and there's a 4 here. We minus, therefore, it's still 3 at the bottom. Now, and what else can you do? Rainbow method of this, because we are aiming for a clean binomial inside. I'm sorry for the unorganization of this, but I would like to continue in this side. Which is, it will become now dy over dx is equal to e3x. And then, I will put now, when I do this, 3 times x will be 3x, then 3 minus negative 1, 3 multiply negative 1 will be negative 3. And that negative 3 will be minus to that negative 2. So that will be negative 5 in total. 3x minus 5. Just a simple algebra, please don't be confused on that part. 3x minus 5, and where are we going to do? We still have x minus 1 theta, which is, or raised to 3, which is the same thing, already almost the same of what we want to get. And therefore, your A is, there's no coefficient there, there's nothing there. And automatic is 1, not 0, it's 1. B is tiga or 3. C is negative 5. But actually, negative 5, already negative here, and then you put negative 5. So it's like the standard answer here will be just positive 5. Positive 5. And that's the answer. Okay, let's just double check. Yeah, 1, 3, 5. Okay, now let's answer this one. Find the equation of the tangent to C at the point where x is equal to 0. Equation of the tangent. Tangent is a line that passing through at one point of the curve. At one point of the curve. And automatic, once you see the word tangent or a line, you will always follow this y minus y1, mx minus x1. You can go with the y is equal to mx plus c, but of course, you're still going to get the c. It's up to you. But at this point, I will use this equation, yeah? My y as is, because it's equation, eh? You're not going to put anything there. The y1 is the 0. This one is your x1. But I need to put that 0 here in the x of my original. Okay? So, how about let's put that. I'm going to put that, and I want to show it in the calculator. So, you have the idea here. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me just put it, okay, I will put it here first. So, you're just going to make a fraction there. Okay, alpha e for that. And then your exponent, which is 3, right? Please look at the original y, that one on the top. 3 multiplied by x. But it's actually 3 times 0. Okay, but for the sake, let's just make it multiply by 0. Okay, and what else? We're going to put parenthesis there, parenthesis. Sorry. Okay, ulala. So let me just, let me just redo it. So we have e raised to, I'll just make it raised to 0 because you have 3 times 0. So it's just 0. It's just, it's just b1. I will just to show you. X minus 1 will be 0 minus 1, then square. Actually, you can do it mental math, For the advanced students, just do mental math if you are really confident on that one. And that it's just 1, right? Okay? Because you know that e raised to 0 is just 1, and then at the bottom, you will have a positive 1 as well. So, going back on that, we will have y minus 1. And then my m is, I'm still not getting my m. Wait a minute. But the x, I will just put my x there. My x1 again is 0. Okay? You can do it like that. Or if it's just 0, you can just disregard that and just make it x there. But let's get the m. What's the m? M means gradient. This is gradient function. Now, for you to get the gradient, put your 0 in all of the x's there. Okay? How about let's just try without using calculator at this point. So, if I want to get my gradient, e raised to 3 times 0 will be 0, which is actually just 2 or 1. 3 times 0 will be 0 minus 5. Then x minus 1, I'm putting my x, I'm putting it all in my x. I'm going directly. I'm skipping some parts, which is very obvious already. So we have 0 minus 1 raised to 3. Okay, let's try to answer it without using calculator. This one is 1. So whatever is the answer here, that will be the answer, right? Negative 5 on the top. And then, 0 minus 1 is negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. You will have negative 1. And the final answer of your m will be 5. And you just need to put it there. This is not yet acceptable answer because you're supposed to answer in y is equal to mx plus c. It's way better. Let us write, we have y is equal to 5x. Put that other one, becomes positive 1. And the answer is that. Easy peasy. Let's move on and let me erase that. Okay, let's go with this one. We are currently in number 9. As you can see, we call this one implicit function because you have x and y together. We put a space there. Okay. If you have implicit, you just simply derive it simple. But the golden rule is don't you ever forget that if you are deriving that y term, you need to multiply it to the dy over dx. Why? Because it's like chain rule that after you derive that y squared, it's 2y, right? But you need to also derive that y, which is dy over dx. So it's actually the chain rule. So I'm going to answer A here at the bottom. Hopefully you can follow. X squared, I'm doing dy. No, you're not going to put dy over dx here because you're supposed to get it from that y. But you're going to do it separately. Okay? So you have, let me just recap this one so you can follow what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to derive now, okay? X squared is 2x, easy. Y squared is 2y. But once again, don't forget that you're going to multiply it to your dy over dx. Minus 4, your 3y is just 3. But again, don't forget your dy over dx there is equal to 6. I mean 0 because the derivation of a constant is just 0. I will do it step by step. 2y dy dx. I will combine them at the same side. Those with the dy over dx. I will put everything without dy over dx on the other side. So I will be changing the sign. Negative 2x plus 4. I will factor out dy over dx because you can see it in both terms, which is dy dx. The remaining will be 2y plus 3. The other side is still the same thing, but I want dy over dx. I want this value. So remove everything beside that, which is, wait a minute, there's, okay. Divide everything by that 2y plus 3. Cancel, cancel, you do the same thing on the other one. And as you can see, it's almost the same thing here, but the negative is just the middle, so it's just, you just factor out the negative on that numerator, which you can just put it there. Let me just be organized. So it will be negative dy over dx is equal to negative 2x minus 4 over 2y plus 3. We just factor it out. And you can see that this is shown. Okay. Hence, find the coordinates of the points of the curve which the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. Tangent is a line parallel to the x-axis. As you know, this is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. So if there's a line parallel to your x-axis, that's a horizontal. And horizontal line means your gradient will be 0. And you're just going to get your x, which is just simply equate it to your 0. But at this point, I will rainbow method here, yeah. So it's not just confusing. Negative 2x plus 4, 2y, I need a space. I think I will just put it here. Okay, negative 2x plus 4, 2y plus 3, this is equivalent to 0. That's a gradient function. That's equal to 0 because it's horizontal. What I'm going to do is to just simply multiply this one to just cancel the denominator because we don't like that denominator. So negative 2x plus 4 is equal to 0. Just a simple algebra, we were going to have negative 4 on the other side. Divide both sides by negative 2. Therefore, the answer is positive 2. You're not yet done. This is only your x. We want points, which is x and y. Let's put the 2 were in your y here, which is kind of tricky and long, but you can do it, guys. So this is substitution now, substitution. I really want to be organized in my notes. So if you can label the process. So you will have x squared in here. So you're going to do 2 squared. 2 squared, the y squared, no, you don't have that. Negative 4 times 2 plus 3y is equal to 6. Now, let's go and make a quadratic. You will see that you have a quadratic there. y2 plus 3y, but combine everything of your number. Ini 4, this is 4, minus 8, minus 6, because I will put it on the other side, right? And that's a total of minus 10. This is a nice quadratic because you can do mental math here in getting your y, which is 2 numbers when you multiply negative 10, when you add 3, will just be positive 5 and negative 2 here. But you're going to equate, this one is y is equal to negative 5 and y is equal to negative 2. 2. Okay. I want you to put it in the points or coordinates form. So, yes, there are 2 y's and there's 1 x, and that's okay. You're just going to have 2 coordinates there. 2, both of them are 2, meaning to say probably it's like an ellipse or a circle, Remember the circle? X squared plus y, of course, right? If you go at some point of x, you're going to have 2 points there, right? Which is negative 5 and 2. And that's it. Because once again, this is a circle. For example, this is a circle. So you will have two value of y if you check your x, right? Okay. Kicks, and that's it. Let's move on to, let me erase first. And let's go with number 10. For number 10, we are actually generous in putting the double angle here, but the start of the question will be here, yeah, the parametric equation. That's the start of the question. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, it's actually, we are actually generous in this question because I want you to recall your double identities. That's why it's given there. But the start of the question will be the parametric of the equations of the curve, yeah? Please don't derive this. You're supposed to derive this. This is only simplifying your trigo. Okay? So let's try. You have an x and you have a y equation, and then you are seeing parametric equations here because they are using theta. And that's why we're supposed to get your dx over d theta. Let's do it one by one. So your dx over d theta will be looking like this. And then this is not a product rule, but we're just going to derive it one by one. Let's go with dx over d theta, which is derivative of 6 is just 0. So you only focus on this one, which is negative 4 will just be outside. Just focus in cos 2 theta. And you know that cos 2 theta will be negative sine 2 theta, right? But you're not yet done. You're going to derive this 2. So you multiply it by 2 again. Okay, let me just put it 2, then negative sine 2 theta. Let me just arrange it properly. The answer here will be negative 8. Actually positive because you have a 2 double negative there. So you have 8 sine 2 theta. Okay? Now, how about for your dy over d theta? The same thing. Theta. That's the same thing. 8 theta will just be 8. For sine 2 theta, I will just put again 4 here and just focus on sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta is cos 2 theta, but you're not yet done. Multiply it by the derivatives of this 2 theta. Imagine 2x. So it's 2. So multiply it by 2. Let me just put the number in front and you're going to have cos 2 theta. Okay, and then we're just going to properly arrange them so you can see whatever you can cancel. 8 plus 8 cos 2 theta. And since I want to get dy over dx, you're supposed to divide divide d theta, divide dx over d theta. Okay, this one at the top, divide by this one. Okay, let's rewrite it. Dy over dx now, and it will be 8 plus, sorry, wait a minute. 8 cos 2 theta. Divide 8 sine 2 theta. We can factor out the numerator. I will make it 8, 1 plus 1, or cos 2 theta. I will not put that 1 there anymore. Divide 8 sine 2 theta. The bottom you cannot factor. That's it. Cancel your 8. Therefore, it will become 1 plus cos 2 theta over sine 2 theta. Okay. Now, this is already the almost there. Okay, but we're going to get cotangent theta. I cannot see any cotangent here, but you are seeing double angle. That's why you're going to use this thing. Okay? Okay, let me just write it in this one. The one here, hopefully you know it because it's not going to be given. But 1 in trigo is, is sine squared theta plus cos squared theta. Hopefully it looks like familiar to you. How about cos 2 theta? You can see it here. Just put that thing here right away. Cos 2 theta minus sine 2 squared theta divided by your sine 2 theta. But your sine 2 theta is this one because it's a double angle. 2 sine theta cos theta. You can cancel sine squared minus sine squared. It's just minus. Can we add the 2 cos squared? Yes, you can. You know that it will become 2 cos squared theta over 2 sine theta cos theta. Cancel 2, cancel the cos, but you still have a remaining cos at the top. And you will have cos theta over sine theta. And you know, I will just put it there, dy over dx is equal to, okay, I think my pen tab is lagging. Okay, cos theta over sine theta is just basically equal to cotangent. You're supposed to know that, okay? Because you know that sine over cos is tangent, so cos over sine will be cotangent. And that's it.